I get this comment often, and it's because honestly, a lot of times when you do see people apply layers of makeup, it does seem overwhelming and it just looks like it's going to turn into this giant mess. But I'm going to show you how to create a very fine-tuned blurred base so that you love your end result. So first up, we have to talk about skin prep. I always go in with my Supergoop glow screen. I love that this has a glowy sheen to it, and that bouncing of the light automatically blurs. Okay, number two is to prime. I don't always use skin primers, but if I'm going for a super fine-tuned blur, use a mattifying primer strategically. I only place it in areas that I crease. So for me, that's around my eyes and then my laugh lines, but I'm not taking it all over the face because I don't want to create a blank canvas. I still want my skin to have dimension and not look too flat. And number three is to blend out everything with smaller brushes. Smaller brushes allow you to get super concentrated about where you're blending out your product, how much you apply, and if you need to build up more, it's much less risky than going in with a bigger brush. In full transparency, I have a little breakout here, but because I'm going in with a small brush and shearing out that product over it, it's not really caking up or building up. It's just giving me a little wash of color. And if you hold the brush up close to the head, you can have more control and concentration, but if you hold it at the tail end, you can use this to shear it out to where it's pretty flush with your skin. Now at this stage, I typically like to go in with some type of spray, but you don't have to. And just to show you that this doesn't look cakey, I'm actually going to skip this and still get a nice natural skin-like result. Now with the small eyeshadow brush, you can just grab some powder and lightly set in all the areas you feel your color corrector might bleed through. But if that's not something you struggle with, then feel free to skip the step. But just for demonstration purposes, I want to show you that when I use a small eyeshadow brush, I'm not dusting powder everywhere. I'm just using a small brush to be more controlled with my application. And now I'm going to add some concealer everywhere I color corrected. You can skip this step and go straight in with your foundation. That should neutralize it as well. Starting out with just a little bit of product and pushing it into the skin. And I'm only going to do half my face just to show you the difference. This side is blended out with just concealer, no foundation powder, and it still looks like skin. You can see my little birthmark, and you can still see a little shadowing here, which you could go in with a more full coverage concealer or brightening powder and build up the coverage there. But I just wanted to show you that the initial process is actually not cakey at all. Now to blend out this side, it's not perfect. I've got some texture here, but it looks like skin. And this is the final look using my top 3 tips and tricks so that you look like you're face tuned without feeling cakey.